What's up, y'all? It's your boy Brandon Doulos Garrett, and I'm back with another episode of Brandon's Book Report. Today we are continuing the series, The 12 Rules for Life by Dr. Jordan Peterson. We're on rule number 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. If you've been watching these videos, you'll know the theme of this book is order and chaos. We all have these pivotal moments in our lives where things can quickly go from stable to falling apart, and vice versa. One of the most crucial parts of every person's life is their childhood and how their parents raised them. Now, I'm not a parent, but we've all seen the various dynamics between parents and children. When there is order established by the parent, it's beautiful. The child is adorable, well-behaved, and even pleasant to be around. But when it's chaotic, it's hard to watch. The author is a psychologist, and he goes into stories of people who are having issues in raising their children. He warns of the dangers that can creep in when a child's constant misbehavior takes its toll on the parent. When fighting with someone constantly, or when every task and every situation is a battle, no matter with whom or how much you love them, you will begin to resent that person, even if it's your own child. Now, most people would say, that's the parents' fault. There's no such thing as bad kids, only bad parents. Now, I kind of agree with that, but the author does not. And he states, to blame not just a bad parent, but all bad parents as a whole is to blame society. When we view a group as oppressed or mistreated, we seek to liberate them. This has become an overcorrection in the parent and child dynamic, where any sort of disciplinary action can be perceived as abuse. Now, child abuse is real and it's horrible, but we have become hyper aware and sensitive to it. When a parent is crippled and has no way to correct their misbehaved child, they must leave them to their own devices. This makes it harder for them to function and fit into society later on in life. Kids need support, direction, and discipline. Children's brains aren't fully developed. They lack perception on how things work, especially in social settings, and they've lacked the forethought to think ahead. They cannot understand how present actions can breed future consequences. That's why punishments administered by a parent in a safe and reasonable manner are important for their development. Children will test the boundaries to see what they can get away with. But discipline is a responsibility, not an act of revenge or an angered reaction to a behavior that displeases a parent. No one wants to make another person feel bad. But negative emotions are valuable teachers. We are vulnerable creatures. So negative emotions protect us from damage and death. We get feelings and thoughts that tell us, don't do that. That stove is hot. Don't touch it. But children are curious and will ignore such things. That is why they must understand consequences. And parents must not fear negative emotions and not deprive the kids of such lessons. The author suggests that the answer is not to shelter them from pain, but to figure out how to maximize their learning from negative experiences at minimal cost. When a parent avoids conflict and does not discipline their child, they are not saving them from a life of pain, but rather you turn that responsibility over to a world that will serve them pain and discipline without the constraints of parental love. As a parent, you are helping your child fit into society, to make friends and develop and be a well-rounded person. When they learn how to behave, they get attention from others. Those interactions further their development and thus give them the tools they need to find their place in society. Every person's life is chaotic. Children have no understanding of order until it is ushered in by an adult. Figure out how to establish that order in a loving and fair way. Order is the greatest gift that a committed parent can bestow. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow me on TikTok, man. Doulos the 180. That's DOULOS 180. Catch me on IG, Facebook, and YouTube under Brandon Doulos Garrett. Thank you so much for listening. Check out this book, man. There's only so much I can fit into these videos. There's so much more that he goes into in every chapter. Thank you so much, though, and I'll see you next time.